Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Broad Motherfucking Topics. I'm your host, Kim Congdon, here with my co-host,
Alex Scarlato. Hi, Kimmy.
Hi, how are you?
I'm okay. I miss you. It's been a tough couple days since you left.
It has. How weird was that TikTok I sent you about, like the two girls sleeping in the bed together, and then one of them faced the other one, and she was like, "Stop being gay."
Yeah, I the way that I like faced away from Kim in rigor mortis every night, and then when you were leaving on your last night, literally laid on top of you like you were my boyfriend for like 5 minutes, and I was like, "Don't go," and realized we could have been snuggling like that all weekend.
It was truly the most aggressively attached anyone's ever physically been to me in my life. You were not happy about it, but I'll be back again soon.
Yay.
Your top's super cute.
Thank you. I purchased this in the old ladies section of Lord & Taylor, and I couldn't be more thrilled with it. It's got like a little town on it. It feels like France, maybe. I don't know.
Right. France or clean New York.
Yeah, something like that.
So what's going on in the world? We had an alien invasion last night.
Yeah, I mean, I thought so too. I got home from Legion of Skanks at like midnight and was scrolling TikTok and saw all of these posts from like the same strip of land in like Jersey, showing this UFO that looked very convincing.
I'm honestly I have a hard time believing that an alien would go to Jersey. It has an entire universe and it goes to fucking Jersey.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think any intelligent life goes to Jersey.
It's like, how? Why Jersey?
Well, I looked it up this morning, and all of the major news sources are calling it a Goodyear blimp. So it's probably just New Jersey people being too dumb to recognize a blimp.
Oh, God. It's throwing out hot dogs. They're like, why are the aliens giving away free hot dogs? Oh, I forgot. That's not what they sound like. Jersey people are the rednecks of the North, though.
They are. They're just like, they're like aggressive Italian rednecks somehow.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's a lot. Well, fuck. I thought, I always wondered how I would act when it was time for the aliens to come. And I just honestly was like, I heard about it yesterday and I said, I don't want to talk about it. And then I just kept driving and I was like, I don't want to know if they're coming. I don't really want to know. I just wanted to like run into one and be like, well, this is my time to die or whatever it is.
I was excited about it. I was disappointed upon realizing that it was only just a blimp.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy how we can feel so differently about it.
Yeah, don't you feel like you want somebody to come shake things up a little bit?
No, I'm good. My life's fun.
This year of all years, it's like we have a pandemic happening.
This year of all years, I need it not to be shaken up. Let's just get back to normal. I'm ready to get back to normal.
What if the aliens are here to help? Like, help us rise up, you know?
I don't know, Alex. They say that they don't look very nice.
Who says that? Who says they don't look nice?
The movies. I'm scared. I'm really scared of aliens, and I shouldn't be. I'm so scared of aliens that I don't talk about them that much because I feel like if you talk about them, they hear you.
They probably do. But I'm fine with it. I want the aliens to know that if they're here, they should come talk to me.
You're like the Olive Garden for aliens. If you're here, you're family. One time I was with my entire family in the living room in Florida, and we were watching a documentary about aliens, and it was like the scariest thing I'd ever seen. It was like all these dudes pulling up all this proof of alien life and stuff. And then at one point we were all terrified. The entire family is silently watching this at like 11 p.m. And at one point it goes to this guy and he's like, I'm telling you right now, aliens are real and they're coming. And then our power went out right then, right in that second.
Fucked up.
And the way that the entire family screamed in panic was insane.
No, and you were scared already. That's
Terrified.
like a hide in the closet type situation.
We all ran into my mom's room under the covers. All of us, the entire family, my mom, my stepdad, and my 2 sisters.
But I honestly kind of miss being afraid like that, like a kid. Like nothing, like there's, paranormal.
There's no fear like child fear.
Yeah. I mean, the only way you could make me feel fear like that right now is by like literally chasing me, which I don't want,
Right.
Like
Yeah.
I miss like the innocent fear of like, is there a ghost or like a demon or something?
I don't. I spent so much time being scared of ghosts as a kid. I feel like I probably saw hella ghosts or something. But I spent my entire childhood running away from rooms.
Speaking of which, my mom literally left you a message this week.
Oh, yes. I forgot. When your mom called me, I was around people that were mentally well. And so I was like, could not answer any ghost experience stories in front of her because I was like, I'm sorry. I'm with people that like
they think I'm sane. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They're not on the same vibration as us, Miss Scarlato.
I get that.
Not that she's not unwell. I'm saying I was hanging out with people on a different vibrational plane at the moment.
No, I get that. You'll have to call her back and tell her about your ghost experience in our
house. What
does
she want to know? I need to know.
She wants to know all of the details and the way that it caused an argument at the dinner table between me and her the other night, where she just kept asking me for more details to the point where I was like, it wasn't me. It was Kim. I didn't see it. She saw it. Call her.
And she did call me.
She did. I was like, do you want her number? Call her.
And God, I forgot to call her back. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. You just caused an argument. It's not a big deal.
Sorry to break up you and your mom.
It's over.
So, yeah, I gotta put that on my to-do list. Call your mom back and give her the ghost details.
You gotta give her all the jazzy deets.
All the jazzy deets about the ghost in my brow. I probably saw it in my brow. It was probably just my eyebrow hair earlier that day. Remember we talked about it was probably that same fucking hair, and I thought it was your dead uncle.
God damn it. I'll never forget that moment the rest of my life, Kim.
I wish you would, honestly.
It was so good.
I honestly think that it was such an insane mentally ill moment that like people aren't really understanding.
I've seen you cry 3 times in the last 3 years. One was the fight that we had. One was the time we got dosed. And one was because you saw your eyebrow hair in front of your eye and you thought it was a ghost.
Life is scary. I don't know what else to say. Sometimes your brow scares you.
It's so funny. I haven't cried in such a long time that now I'm worried about it. I'm actually, for sure, on a lifelong roll for this has been the longest I've ever gone in my whole entire life without crying.
That's good. If you cry a lot, that's good not to cry for a little bit. I think you need equal amounts of both. I don't think you need to be crying a lot, and I don't think you need to be never crying. That's good to take a break from crying.
Yeah, I'm just on a little break. I'll get back to it,
Right. Get back on. Jump on the game again.
Just when I'm ready. When I'm ready, ooh, am I going to cry?
Ooh, you're going to get a good one. You're going to get one of those that go when you breathe in, those.
Yeah, I love those. Can I tell you?
Those feel so good. They feel like, I don't know how to describe it, but they feel like they open my back up.
I like it when it's like not a choice you're making and there are like other people watching it and they get to see that like, oh, she needs help. I should put an arm around her. Do you know what I mean?
Right. I love they feel like a humidifier in your body. I don't know why. After I feel like cleansed and clear.
Yeah, no, I love that.
I also a good cry.
I like a good cry that like blocks up your nose in the middle of it, but then toward the end, it clears your nose out again. Do you know what I mean?
I call that the 360 nose clearer.
It's a good one. It's a good cry, man. That's like a death of a relative cry, but it's a good one.
I like the cries where you're crying and like you really mean it. And right when the person that really cares about you looks at you, a beautiful tear rolls down, but it's like fat and you can feel it like going over.
Yes, my family has always referred to those as crocodile tears, and I've got them. You got to get
Yeah.
yourself that one single tear. It drips out of the corner or sometimes the inside corner. Inside corner is nice. It feels dramatic when it comes down and it takes a little path around your cheek.
The cheek path of sad is what I call
Yeah.
that.
That's what that is. And I'll tell you, when it reaches about here, I'm always rooting for it to go back toward the ear because I don't want it to get stuck on my lip. I want it to finish
What
out.
a waste when a tear gets stuck on your lip. So ugly.
So ugly. I want it to finish out its journey to the bottom of my cheek. I want it to linger there for a moment, and then I want it to just flutter off.
If it doesn't get wiped away. Right here, you can wipe here. Don't you hate when someone pre-wipes your tear before it rolls?
You know, this is a true story. As a child once, I was crying, and my mother wiped my tear too soon, and it made me cry harder.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's like, what are you doing? What do you think you're doing to my artful tear?
If you're feeling like one's balling up really well, this is what you do. Don't blink for a while. Hold your eye open and keep crying, because that one will, like, you think you got a fat one now. Yeah, you could always blink it out, but no, that's not what a pro does. A pro doesn't blink out the first full tear he has. A pro fills up that water balloon till it's ready to pop.
That's also a very good technique to use if you are writing perhaps like a breakup letter, suicide note, or maybe drawing a picture for someone. And
or all three at the same time.
Yeah. If you want the tears to really crease the page and make their stain, you definitely want to hold your eyes open for an extra second to let them gather.
You should also stand over the paper, almost upside down, sideways, like, so that if you want it to get on the paper, you can't let it waste down your cheek. And let me tell you, this is a different game than down the cheek. This is two different kinds of attention you're looking for. Down the cheek is instantaneous. That person's in front of you. Now we're talking about mailing our tears. This is a whole different game, people. Let's calm down, because when you're mailing the tears, you cannot let it waste on your fucking cheek. Guess why? The more it rolls, the less tear you got for the paper.
That's right. Your cheek is actually soaking in the moisture of your tears.
You're giving yourself back your tears instead of giving it to somebody else.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree with that method.
Tears, they be fat. Then some fat ass tears.
Tears be chunky, yo.
Tears be tears be thick. I don't know, but I love a thick tear.
I'll tell you, I'm good at crying down onto a page, and I realized that
I'm good at crying down onto a page. Was the whitest thing I've ever heard in my life.
I realized that when I opened my diary from high school, and it's like even the least dramatic of passages are just fucking wept away with tears.
Today was beautiful, and it's like tears. It's like, Jesus, Alex, could life be any greater for you?
Relax.
For fuck's sake. I love Lizzie McGuire. Just tears on the page. It's like,
I finished the last Harry Potter book this morning. Like, tears are all over the fucking page. It's
hilarious.
Real. It's bad.
Yeah, no. The tears. So you haven't cried in a while. I've been crying a lot lately.
That's also good though. Get it out.
Yeah, I've been getting it out. I didn't cry for like years before this. You saw it was only 3 times, and those times were bad, except for the ghost brow.
Yeah, the ghost brow was a false alarm.
Right. Wait, it was the ghost brow, our fight, and what was the other one?
When
getting laced.
dosed.
Yeah. It's always a pretty good reason.
Yeah, it's been pretty good reasons. The the fact that you cry so seldomly is what made me so scared of the ghost brow situation. I was like, this bitch just saw something real.
That's how you know my brow really looked like a ghost in that situation. I don't know how to explain it. I know I said it in the last podcast, but if you missed it, I need you to know my one brow was a C. It was like my brows did the Chanel symbol where the C's cross over each other. And that created the face of a ghost that every time I've moved my head, it also moved. And that's not the last time I'm going to explain my way out of that. And I don't want to talk about it anymore. Do you understand that, like, there are times when people, like when you have those times in your life when you think about it and you're like, I'm so embarrassed, and you cringe, and it's like you always go back to it. That will be one of mine. For the rest of my life, that will be one of mine. Sitting in that room and crying over my ghost brow.
I can't think of something that I'm embarrassed of. I know a few weeks ago I told the story about having my parking brake on while I was in the middle of a street in the city. And that day I was very, very embarrassed about it. And even now, like 2-3 weeks later, I could think about it and be like, yeah, whatever.
Right. I hope one day my brow feels the same, but it just doesn't right now. So,
Well, you'll move
so
on.
it's fucking, yeah. Speaking of moving on, have you seen Cuties?
No, but I've heard a lot of the controversy, and I'm very excited to watch it because I think I'm going to have a lot of opinions on it.
Listen, you need to watch it. One. Two, I went into the damn movie. You know me. I'm on the side of art. I'm on the side of free speech. I'm on the side of creation, of free thinking, of stepping outside of the box, towing the line, uh, playing in the gray areas. That is me. That's who I am as a comic. This movie is sick.
Yeah. Okay.
It is sick. It is sick. And the fact that people are messaging me and being like, well, only if you think of it that way. I'm like, no, absolutely not. It is just straight up not good. There's no doubts. There's no doubts. There's one scene in the movie. Okay, so do you know what the movie's about, Cuties?
As I understand, it's about like a group of girls. The only plot point that I really know is that they end up putting together a dance for themselves and entering it into a competition.
Right. So when I heard the movie Cuties, I was like, oh my God, it's like a little Bring It On. It's like a little thing like that. It's like these girls, they started a twerk team. How cute, right? How fucking cute. Even the thought of a little girl starting a twerk team is kind of cute. Like, I didn't think that that was weird at all. That's how far past that I am. I don't think twerking's crazy for little girls to do because me and my friends were twerking, right? The movie starts and the girls start dancing and stuff, and it's fine. And let me tell you that there's no like specifics. The parts that they said were bad were like when the girls are dancing and twerking. The things that I found the worst in the movie were the parts that nobody talked about that were almost subliminal.
Okay.
I think there are a lot of parts in the movie that nobody brought up that I was like, as a TV writer, I was like, this was shot this way on purpose to look like this.
So that's what I was just going to say. From what I've heard so far, like the people who I know who have a problem with the movie have more of a problem with the way that it was shot and like the actual angles and zooms and like shot selections over the content itself or the costuming or even
Absolutely.
the choreography.
Absolutely. I had no problem with anything else besides the way that it was shot was so it was like a perverted episode of The Office. Anytime the girls like as little girls they'd like jump on piles of each other and like their legs would be like thrown open, the camera would like zoom into the camel toe. And like
yeah, there's no
it
need
was
for that.
So obvious.
Especially, I mean, like, you know that I'm like weirdly an advocate for like slutty dance costumes on little kids and things. Like, I think it's just part of the art.
There's nothing you love more than a slutty little girl.
Nothing I love more than a slutty little girl in a little tiny sequined costume. Okay, I don't know what to tell you.
This is not going to age well if you get famous.
Well, my point is that I experienced that growing up. I was a dancer. I definitely wore my fair share of risque costumes, you know, did numbers from like cabaret and stuff like that when I was as young as like 12 or 13. And I see it as like something that was really good for me as a performer, as well as like somebody who's like about to hit puberty and kind of learning about their own sexuality. Like I'm an advocate for younger girls being able to dance and not be looked at sexually, no matter what the style is, no matter what costumes they're in. It's a performance. It's not a sexual thing for you, you know?
Mm-hmm. Totally.
So I was anticipating watching this movie and, you know, arguing for the film, but you're not the first person who I've spoken to who said that some of the shots could have been more tasteful and that the film would still have like the same meaning to it.
Right. I actually sent Bobby a video of a shot I specifically took a video of because I'd seen people pulling out specific scenes, but this one was the one that bothered me the most in the entire movie because it was so transparent to me what was happening. I think it starts with the other one, Bobby. Not that one. It should start with like 3 people in the first. Yeah, that one. So yeah, you could play it from there. That's fine. So she's mad because her daughter's being a whore. And the next shot is this, which I find to be a very strange way to shoot a religious ceremony. Just the way that it was shot, it's slowly, and then the second shot was this. Hold on. We have the second one. So the first shot is like that weird.
I see why this is controversial, but like I could also see this. I see the filmmaker's perspective as well, being like, let's juxtapose this with a religious ceremony where it looks like she's being come on. Like, it makes sense.
That's crazy. Did you hear what you just said? She's 11. No, she's 11. She crazy. Was 10 the year before, and they're doing cum shots on her, real ones. That's a cum shot. I don't know. I don't care what anyone says. That's exactly what that's supposed to look like.
It's what it's supposed to look like, but then you do get the I'm just playing devil's advocate. The fact that you do get like the it turns around and it's a religious ceremony is kind of like a payoff that you weren't expecting after a cum shot.
Right.
So they're trying to make the audience aware of like what's wrong with me? Why did I just think of this as a cum shot? You know, I think that's
because it looks like a cum shot. That's why we thought of it. No, that's what this is. This is where I know you're playing devil's advocate, but I'm just saying this is what people are doing. They're going this. They're trying to make you think, and it's like no. They're not trying to make us think. They're putting something pretty obvious in our face, and it's obviously what we're going to think. That wasn't some.
I'm assuming that the filmmaker's intention is to like fucking make you think of a cum shot so that then you feel gross for thinking of a cum shot. Like the whole thing is a commentary on young girls' sexuality, which is a little weird to begin with to be making a movie.
I thought it was about a twerk team.
I mean, in theory it is, but I think it's a vehicle. I haven't seen it, but from what I understand, it's like a vehicle.
But they're 11. What's sexuality?
I mean, I thought I invented sex when I was like 9. Like you were thinking about sex when you were 11. You definitely wanted to dress like more provocatively. And
this is what I was saying. When I was 11, I wanted to be sexy, not sexual. And this movie is girls being sexual and not trying to be sexy.
Right.
There's a huge difference for me. There's a huge difference in being 11 years old and wanting to like look like the older girls and like have boobs and like be sexy and like and then being 11 years old and sucking on your own fingers and like literally they were doing dance moves where like they'd go like this.
Can I tell you, Harrington did all these dance moves for me this morning to illustrate how inappropriate they were, and it was such a blast to watch.
That's what the director of this movie said too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
It was a lot. For me, there's a big difference between wanting to be sexy and wanting to be like sexual.
Listen, I'm only able to play devil's advocate like this right now because I haven't seen the film, and I don't want to make it seem like any of these are my final opinions on the movie. I have to watch it, and I'll get back to you about it next week.
Have you ever seen like any other movies like this? Like I know there was a few that came out that I sent the guys trailers to. Have you seen the movie 13?
No. But real quick before we talk about 13, I just did want to make the point that like I agree with you in terms of like when I was 11 wanting to feel sexy but not sexual. Mm-hmm. But based on what I'm seeing on social media nowadays, I'm just not sure that 11-year-olds anymore like know the distinction between that anymore. So I don't know if it's maybe like more relevant to tell this kind of story now than when we were younger and kids were a little bit more kids.
It's a good point to consider. Maybe it's just different now. I mean, I know when I was younger, it was like that movie, that behavior would have made more sense in a setting of girls that are 13 or 14 coming from where I grew up. So I could understand that maybe in the last 15, 20 years, it's gotten a little younger, a couple years younger.
11 is the new 14, baby.
Well, in the movie, the girls are meeting older guys, and the guys are like, how old are you? And the one girl goes 11, and the girls go, shut up, we're 14. And I'm like, ew, this whole thing is weird, too, that they're lying, and the age that's appropriate they're saying is 14. Like, what is going on?
It's funny. I actually remember when I was around 11 thinking that 14-year-olds were so sophisticated and older. And
absolutely. I can still imagine the way I feel about a 14-year-old, like the way I think they're older.
Like, I don't know if you remember being younger and like looking forward to a particular age. Like I couldn't wait for like 5 years. I was looking forward to being 14. It just seemed like the coolest thing ever to be 14. Now it's like 14. Jesus.
The way that I couldn't wait to be 10. And I told everybody that I couldn't wait to be specifically double digits. It was my favorite fact.
You had
I was
to
like,
say
it's my
double digits.
I told everyone, I was going by my nickname Casey at that point. So Casey was turning double digits. Shit was crazy.
Wild. No, I remember that. I was just going to ask you if you referred to it as double digits like everybody around here did.
Mm-hmm. But I can't believe you've never seen the movie 13. I think you'd really like it. That movie made more sense. I think can we play trailers, Bobby? I don't know how long we can play of them, but this movie was crazy, but was actually really good. Sundance, same shit.
Looks like she grew up this summer. What's up, baby?
Nice socks. What do you think? Mom, do I look okay?
You look incredible.
Here, Mom, listen to this. It's not simple, nor is it an easy matter to explain. Let's just leave it at that, she says, and closes the holy book of lies. She covers her eyes.
Tracy!
We're gonna talk about it when I get back, okay?
Then she starts hanging out with this cunt, who's hot and bad.
Call me after school. We can go shopping.
1, 2, 3, go.
Guess what I hung out with today?
Evie Zamora?
Well, you could really help me if I lived here. Hey, boys. Have you had anything to eat today? Mom, stop with the food thing already! She's
So we don't have to keep playing it, but you can see how in the beginning of this movie, this girl is 13 years old. She goes to school and things get so bad. If you've never seen this movie, things get so bad with this girl within like a week, it seems like in the movie. And it is so relatable. And it is 10 times worse than Cuties. It is like the things she does are like graphic. Like they blow some dude. They try to have threesomes with the neighbor who's over age. They lie about their age. They flash their boobs to adult men. And all of that seemed more appropriately shot than this movie. Do you know what I mean? Like it was the things in this other movie were so much more graphic and dirty. They're dropping acid in a park. They're doing all these things and all still better than what I saw on Cuties, which had nothing really graphic in it. Just pervertedly shot.
Damn it. I have to watch the film.
You have
I don't know. Harrington did say that like a lot of the shots just felt unnecessary. Like before the dance competition, like one girl kind of slaps the other girl's butt like before she goes on stage and it's like a weird zoom in situation.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of zoom ins. There's a lot of like underneath them zoom ins. Anytime they bend over, it seems like the camera's so focused. It was so focused on that it makes me mad when people are like, that's what you're just thinking of that. I'm like, no, you're an idiot if you think this isn't on purpose. It is so thrown in your face. It couldn't be more thrown. Have you ever seen a girl like hang out with a bunch of people and you could tell she's desperate for a certain guy and she makes it so obvious to everyone to the point where it even makes the guy uncomfortable?
Yes.
That's how the shots were. The shots were that girl and everybody else.
And the girls were that guy.
No, is also that girl. Like, I don't know what else to say.
Okay.
They have no idea what's going on, but it's so obvious.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. Like, there is something weird about like how in filmmaking, in order to draw attention to a certain thing, you have to kind of tell a story about that thing. So it's like if you're trying to draw attention to like, you know, the sexualization of children through making a movie about it, it's just like, where are we ending up from there? You know, it's. There
was also no real Like, ask anybody what the movie was really about. Like, where was the storyline? There's no, if you watch Cuties, there's no real storyline. She wants to join a twerk team. I thought it was going to be sort of like Bring It On. Like, she wants to join a twerk team. There's a competition. The other girls are fucking shitting on them. They want to be sexy. Maybe they're not old enough. There was none of that. It's not really about the competition. It's not really about the twerk team. It's sort of about religion, but not really, because in the movie she doesn't really, they don't really follow it that much. They only follow it whenever it's like punishment for being sexy. Like, that's the only time they bring it up. And then, yeah.
Right, the movie in itself is about girls and sexuality, basically. Like, that's it.
But that's it. There's no storyline. Yeah. It's just that.
Right.
So it's like,
but it's also French. So then you're like, do foreign movies ever really have a storyline? Well, foreign movies do, but French ones sometimes not so much.
What are some famous French movies?
Bobby, can you bring us a list of famous French movies?
And the guy said, have you heard of Unpregnant on HBO? It's a show about underage girls taking a road trip to get an abortion.
I mean,
that's fine.
That's been made 1,000 times. I feel like there's other movies.
That road trip's been taken, brother.
That's an old story, man.
That's a documentary that's been filmed since phones had cameras. Did we lose somebody?
No, I think I have some interference. Is it me? Oh, we better. Yeah, I don't know. I remember just a few years ago, there was like a movie about a girl whose like grandmother was driving her out of state for an abortion. Like, I am so uninterested, can I say, in any movie that's about a woman going to get an abortion. I mean,
I'm over it. I'm
entirely over it. We get it. We know how the movie ends, you know?
I couldn't be more done with it. Whenever I hear about it, I'm like, we got it. Her boyfriend is abusive. He made her name her daughter America. The end. Do you remember that movie?
No.
That lady had the baby in the Walmart and she named her America. I don't know what that movie it is, but it came from deep in the back of my mind.
I don't remember the movie at all, except for the birth scene in the Walmart, which is forever ingrained in here, even though I could never tell you any other detail of the movie.
All I remember of the movie is that she named her daughter America and she had a birth at a Walmart.
I do remember the Walmart birth because, like, how
what was that?
That must happen more often than people would like to admit.
Birth at Walmart probably happens more often than birth at birthing hospitals. I don't know what else to tell you.
You picture something has to happen at least like 50 times before they put it in a movie, right?
Yep, that's it, Francis. Where the Heart Is. That was definitely what it was called.
Spoiler alert, it's not at Walmart.
Oh, fuck. Shit.
Yeah, that feels like a fever dream of a memory right there.
Right. I wasn't even sure if that was like ever really happened, if it was a past life of mine and I had a kid at a Walmart. Like, was that me?
No, it wasn't you. Some blonde bitch, I remember. Although Kim might have been a blonde bitch in her past life.
Oh, yeah, because I did my past life regressions. We talked about it on Guys We Fucked.
Yeah. That's right. I was trying to figure out where you told me about that.
I did a past life regressions video, and I had this really crazy dream that I was this blonde girl. And I got murdered on my wedding night by some bitch with black hair and green eyes.
But you know what? That's on brand for you, Kim. To be honest, getting just like, you know, going out on your day.
With the most attention, all the attention in the morning from the wedding and all the attention at the night from the death.
The absolute most dramatic way to leave this world, in your wedding dress in front of your guests.
It couldn't be more me leaving.
Nobody at that wedding ever fucking forgot about it until the day that they died. I honestly feel like this is very real and this was your past life.
That makes a lot of sense, honestly.
It's why you feel like you need to live till 122 this life, because things got ripped away too short last time.
And I remember exactly where she stabbed me. It was right here. First knife mark went right to the side of my head. And literally it was so detailed that I remember the knife like slipped and scraped my head the first time.
Damn it. Your
Isn't that
guests were
weird?
there? It was literally at your wedding.
No. It was my wedding night, and I was alone in a room for some reason. But like not the whole night. I was just alone for a second, and she came in while I was alone and stabbed me.
Imagine the drama of everybody finding your body afterwards, still in your wedding
Oh,
dress.
God, and I was gorgeous. I had these beautiful curls.
Oh, I'm sure you looked beautiful.
Anyways, Brian Weiss, past life regressions. If you guys want to see who you were in a past life, just lay down and just use your imagination. Who knows if it's even real? Honestly, I was like, I don't know if I was real, if I was just imagining stuff in the dark. And then people in the comments were like, "That's what it is." And I was like, okay, I don't know if that's just. I have a pretty crazy imagination. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I saw a ghost in my eyebrow, so it's not hard for me to think of a past life if you're telling me to just create a thought.
I mean, I guess so, but are you usually like picturing somebody's wedding that you've never been to? Like, it's kind of a
No.
weird thing to be just imagining, you know?
Right.
If I'm imagining something, I'm just realizing me imagination isn't as good as it used to be.
Try to imagine right now, like, for real, in real life, a dog comes up to you and it's rainbow colored. Can you even imagine it?
I can, but it looks like it's been dyed. It doesn't look like it was born
Right.
rainbow.
Same.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
like a naturally rainbowed. I can't think of a dog whose fur is natural rainbows.
I can now. Yeah, it's hair by hair. You got to split the every hair is a different color, and it just kind of shines every color when you look at it.
Wow. Thank you.
You're
I just
welcome.
imagined it.
Yeah,
It's almost like
it looks
not-
good. I'll tell you,
it's almost like iridescent rainbow.
yeah, it actually looks better than the dog that we dyed ourselves a minute ago.
Literally so much better. It looks like the dog that was dyed is like the Walmart version of the real rainbow dog.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, we're
That-
on the same wavelength of imagery right now. I'm telling you, I think this is how the universe works. We are probably literally imagining the same thing.
Did you picture a different dog between the two? Because I had to. I had to switch my dog to picture
Yes,
the real
the
rainbow
first
dog.
one was a Dalmatian. The second one was a golden retriever. Golden retriever.
Okay, we're a little bit off from one another. I was picturing small dogs.
Oh, okay. Francis said bulldog, then shepherd, which is great that everybody else was playing along. If anybody thought of the same dogs as me, let me know. What were yours, Alex's?
Mine was
Yours.
like my first one was like a Shih Tzu, and then my second one was, I don't know what kind of dog it is, but it was like a small dog with like the kind of hair that's not fluffy,
Okay.
and it was golden. Yeah.
Okay. I see that.
So if
Very
you
cool.
pictured my dogs, DM me. I guess we're soulmates.
Right. DM me. We're trying to find our twin flames, so let us know, you guys.
See, as I understand, your twin flame is rough.
As rough.
Yeah, twin flame is not somebody who you end up with based on.
Oh, I know. No. Do you think you've met yours?
No, I don't. Do you think you've met yours?
I don't know. On that note, we're going to end the podcast. I got to go. We got to end this episode short. You guys, thank you so much for listening to another episode of Broad Topics. You can find me on Twitter at Kimberly Congdon, on Instagram and TikTok at Kim Congdon. Alex, where can people find you?
You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at I am Alex Scar. And do yourselves a favor, head to gasdigitalnetwork.com and use promo code TOPIX, TOPIX, for a free trial with access to every single episode of this show ever, as well as every other show on the network on demand whenever you want it. 2-week free trial. Hit it up. Go do it. gasdigitalnetwork.com.
All right, you guys. We'll be back next week so I can answer your question. And thanks for listening.
Bye.